Dixie. Morning, Roy. Morning, Daisy. Good morning, Cinch. Horses are fed. Let's go check out the truck. And Mr. Goat. What are those? Check it out. Got the stacks mounted up a little bit last night. It's not done. Just did it up like a semi truck for the most part and clamped it. That little brace I made, we had to cut it down about 6 inches, shorten it up and weld it back together. But turned out pretty decent. Yeah. I think that'll work. Now all that's left to do is put that thing on. Hopefully we got enough flex in our flex pipe for that. But time to break out the Sawzall. So we got the truck on almost level ground. We're gonna level up these stacks a little bit. Of course, I got truck squats quite a bit when you put the trailer on, so this is the best we can do. Shop floor is not perfect, but you know, working with what we got. It's not far off level, so we're gonna fix this problem. And we're gonna fix that problem a little bit. And I think this one's farther off. Yeah, it's quite a ways off that way. And a long ways off that way. So, I made everything adjustable. Made it to where there's almost too much adjustment, so we can get by with a lot of things. So here we go. Well, here we are with the final product. I was gonna video the build on it, but it's tough enough putting stuff together, running the camera too. I just didn't do it. But anyway, got the toolbox mounted up, kind of cover up the ugly part of it, but yeah, I think they turned out all right. I would like to put a fuel tank back here. There's a 1 foot gap. I think it'd be just perfect if I found one about that size, but here's how we clamped her down. Just semi-clamped. And underneath, just did kind of like I planned, but I had to do a lot of trimming. And several clamps. Had to go from 3 to 4 to 4 to 5. And then a lot of flex pipe. Hopefully that pipe being there in front of the fuel tank keep my fuel warmer in the wintertime and maybe not gel up so easy. But yeah, it was a pain in the butt, but it was worth it. I feel a little bit better about sleeping in it at night. We'll have the exhaust below me, I have it above me. I'll tell you one thing, those stacks are cheap, but the elbows cost the same price. It's about 300 bucks worth of stacks and 300 on the elbows, and it added up pretty quick, and the brackets cost more than all that together. Definitely not a cheap project, but I kind of like it. Trailer looks longer on camera. It's only 30 foot, but it's alright. I was thinking as I was cleaning my toolbox out and getting it all mounted up and stuff, and just going through all my stuff. I guess I'll tell you kind of what I keep on hand when I'm on the road if you're getting in the hot shot. These are some things, not everything, but some things you should have. Good pair of gloves for sure. Oil, antifreeze, good socket set with a lot of options. Good hammer, rubber mallet, paper towels for sure. And legally you have to have a fire extinguisher. It'd get you a deep socket set, metric and standard. Wire strippers come in really handy. A couple sets of screwdrivers, because you never have the right one or they get stripped out. This is probably my favorite piece right here. These water pump pliers, adjustable, they're awesome. I use these for my trailer bearings, snugging them up. They fit on there really good. Got them at Tractor Supply for like $5. But they're good to have. Pipe wrench and test light, very important when you got any kind of electrical issues. This is your go-to piece. Those, what do you call those? Vice grips, needle nose pliers, smaller vice grips, probably some needle nose vice grips would be good too to pinch off a line if you need to. And then on the bottom of this, it's got wrenches, just 2 of each size, metric and standard, up to, I keep some more 1/1/16, 1/8, probably go up to 1/8 would be good to have. Especially for this truck, this right here, if you don't know what it is, it's a socket for your axle nut. That holds your, if you want to take your brakes apart or need to slide your axle out or new bearings or whatever, you have to take that nut off, and it's a special socket. Go ahead and buy it. Socket for the pinion nut on your rear end, or maybe that's what this one is. Maybe I just have both, I don't know. Socket for your lug nuts. Rain slicker, good to have. Electrical connectors, some clips, and then just any nut or bolt that you find or have extra, just throw it somewhere, keep it. Have a hammer, some more pliers, pry bar, jumper cables for sure. If you're gonna be on the road and for some reason your battery won't start you, have jumper cables. Grease gun, can't really see it. Grease gun's good to have. And I got a battery to run my winch on my trailer, but that also doubles as if I'm in the middle of nowhere and need to jump start myself. I got an extra battery. Remote to run the winch. A flashlight. Have like 5 flashlights, them little cheapos. They're great, use them all the time. WD-40, keep your ratchets lubed up, and all that good stuff. Now as far as straps go, my rule of thumb is have 1 strap for every 2 foot of trailer. So I got a 30-foot trailer, I got 15 straps. There's only one time that I needed 2 extra straps, and we got by. But other than that, I usually only use 6. Between 4 and 8 typically, but around 6 is usually what I have on most of my loads. Maybe even more important than anything, bottle jack. Gotta have a bottle jack. If you have any tire trouble, pull that sucker out. It's easy to store, just fits real snug right in there. It doesn't take up much space. It'll pick up 6 tons. That's way more than I'll ever need to pick up. Get you a bottle jack. That's just a Harbor Freight special. Ain't nothing wrong with that. it worked perfectly fine. But yeah, 15 straps and ratchets, and these are my wheel chocks because my parking brake sucks. That's just part of driving the old truck. I got 20 of these edge protectors. Sometimes you need them, sometimes you don't need them at all. But when you're hauling cardboard boxes or something like that, very good to have. Keep an extra trailer plug with you. You don't necessarily need this, but you do need this because they do rip out. If it catches on something back here, or you just forget to unhook it, whatever, just have an extra with you. Won't hurt anything. It's like 15 bucks. Just have it, and then when you need it, it's right there handy and you feel smart. But keep a bunch of pieces of carpet with you if you're tarping loads, or hauling like truck beds like I do. You can't have your straps touching paint on brand new equipment, so keep some carpet with you. And then I got 4 ratchet binders and 4 chains. That you really don't need any more than that with this size of a rig. If you got a bigger rig, get more chains. Simple as that. We got 50 bungee cords, or tarp straps, whatever you want to call them. Rubber straps. Those have always been enough. My tarp is 28 foot long with 6 foot drops, and a front flap. I guess it'd be a lumber tarp or something. I don't know exactly what it is. I hate it. Don't get one of these. Get 2 15-foot tarps, or 20 at the most. Do not get a 28-foot tarp. That weighs at least 100 pounds. The shipping weight was 100 pounds on the package. You don't want to carry that around. You throw it on there backwards on accident, then you gotta roll it back up. It's just a massive mess. I keep these 8 4-foot boards. When I was hauling some truck beds for a guy, I didn't have any dunnage. He lent me these and ended up not wanting them back, so I just been keeping them. For some things, I like these 4-foot boards. For other things, 8-foot boards would be alright. But I get along pretty good with 4-footers. I got this Badlands, what is it, ZXR 12,000 Harbor Freight winch. It's like 400 bucks or something like that. It's a cheap winch, but I don't know. I don't use it all the time. I don't use it real hard when I do use it. It's just something you need to have. If you got ramps, you need a winch. It'll pay for itself in one job. Somebody calls you and needs a broke down pickup moved. There you go. You're all ready to go. Do not use come-alongs. I tried that. Yeah, it works. Not a good idea. You will wear yourself out. It's not worth it. But get a good snatch block. And you can, because it's a 10,000 pound winch, but it will not pull 10,000 pounds. Maybe it might, I guess, but you'll want that snatch block if you got a big 1-ton pickup or something you want to pull up. You just run your line, have a chain on the truck, and then run your line down to it, and then hook your snatch block to the chain, and then bring your tail over here and hook it on the side. And it sounds like it'll pull it to the side, but it doesn't. It'll pull it straight on. Pretty easy. And then once you run out of line, you get up to this point, then you just get the truck stopped, block it up, whatever, and then take your tail, bring it up here somewhere, or just hook the tail to the truck if you can pull it the rest of the way up that way. But have you a good spare tire? I wouldn't carry 2. I've never popped a tire. I got good tires. Don't let your tires get bad. Actually, the tire that I have, you may laugh, but it's an old bias ply with a split rim. So if I have to use that, we're going to be going real slow. I really don't want to use it, but that's what I got, because the spare that came with this trailer let me show you. The hub right here, the hole on the wheel there, is not big enough to fit around the hub on my truck. So to where this is a 2020 trailer and that's a 93 truck, the hub on my truck is bigger, so that spare was only good for the trailer. But I could use the spare that would fit the truck onto this trailer, so that's what I did. That was the old spare off my old stock trailer. It's a 70s stock trailer, which would be why it's a bias ply with a split rim. But hopefully we never have to use it. Another good thing to keep with you is a water jug and a couple snacks, some food. That way, for obvious reasons, get hungry, thirsty. You can live off water for a long time. Other than that, that's pretty much what I keep with me. Wish I had a couple small tarps instead of one big one. But, oh, and then the oil filter wrench and all that. You need to be able to, basically whatever you use to work on your truck at home, you need to have in your truck. Now, maybe not power tools. You don't really need to bring an impact with you. Now, if you got a battery powered impact, cool. I'm not that rich, so I don't have one. But every tool that you use that'll reasonably fit in the truck, bring it with you, because just like that axle nut socket, bring it, because if you need it, it's right there. It's ready to go. No problem. You need to be able to change your oil, change your fuel filter, change your air filter, work on your brakes, work on your drive line, fix an oil leak, fix a radiator leak. I keep some JB Weld for that, just in case. You have a lot of zip ties with you, you're going to use them. You have a wire rub through, lights cut out on you or something, and then you'll wish you had some electrical tape in the zip tie. And so keep all that with you, and then you won't, you know, if you will run into trouble. I haven't run into too much trouble, but you know, things break and you want to be able to fix that as quick as you can. That way you don't screw up a load and then you have troubles with your customer, and then they think you got a crappy rig and you can't get things done reliably, so they won't use you anymore. So, you know, if you pop a tire, be able to replace it within a half hour. You may not even be late. I wouldn't even tell your customer that you popped the tire until you got there if you're not late. Or trailer lights, you know, things that go out. I would keep one trailer light with you, and I wouldn't worry about these little marker lights. No big deal. You can keep one if you want. I don't. But these big round ones on the sides, keep one of those, because those burn out. I had all four of these burn out at different times, and I finally just replaced them all with all Grody lights. Those were $100 for 4 of them. That was kind of expensive, but they're a lot better lights than this trailer came with. But you'll burn out lights and things will happen, but if you got a bunch of them little tools and little odds and ends with you, you can take care of it on the road. So I've talked long enough about what you need with you, so we'll just leave it at that, and we'll catch you on the next video.